Independent candidate, Eliot Cutler, thanks for being here.
Good to be here.
How was your event last night at the library?
We had two events. We had one at the library and one at Jaron Bear Thompson's and Cush and Eric Sampson. It was great.
Yeah.
It was terrific. Two events, a lot of wonderful people, a lot of folks from the town and a lot of folks from the valley and a lot of folks who have come here for the weekend to ski, and it was terrific.
Yeah, and you're a skier too, we were talking. Yeah.
I am a skier. I'm not skiing. I'm taking this season off.
Well?
Because if I blow out a knee again, I won't be able to do the parades in
right.
June and July.
That's funny.
Discretion's the better part of valor. But I'll tell you, coming here yesterday and seeing that snow, I mean, I miss it. I mean, it was hard to keep me off skis.
You come around Oh My Gosh Corner and it never changes. You're always awestruck, aren't you?
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Well, wonderful to have you here. And
great to be here.
And it's nice to have you on the program and talk about your run. I want to ask you a little bit about your family and how that influenced your life, and some other questions about your run for candidacy.
Well, my family's the most important thing in my life. Always has been. My two brothers and I, of course, started coming here. Well, the older of the two younger brothers and I started coming to Sugarloaf in 1958.
Wow.
We'd drive over, drive back on Saturday night, drive over again on Sunday, drive back on Sunday night. And that was when there were two T-bars here. But my family, I grew up in Bangor, and all four of my grandparents were immigrants. My mother's father came to North America when he was 12 years old, alone. His parents had put him on a ship out of Eastern Europe to escape conscription draft into the Tsar's army, because in those days, in the 1880s, young men, boys, were drafted at the age of 15 if they lived in the Russian Pale.
Really?
They didn't want that to happen to him, and so they put him on a ship and sent him to Halifax. He had no money. He was 12 years old. He didn't speak English. Had no family with him. And someone in his town, in his village where he grew up, had said, when you get to North America, go to Bangor.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, who knew? You know, I mean, it was it was presumably it was because someone in the town had a family friend, a cousin or somebody who they heard had gone to Bangor and had done well, so it was a magic place. And so my grandfather fetched up in Halifax and made his way to Bangor, and for the first 7 years of his life in North America, from 12 to 19, he walked from Bangor to Calais and back.
Wow. On
the airline, on what we now know as Route 9, selling notions, needles and thread, to people who lived by the side of the road. Some people say I'm still peddling notions, followed in my grandfather's footsteps. But it was an amazing time in America, an amazing time in Maine. A family took him in, taught him English. He met my grandmother, they married, and they had 3 daughters. He started a business in Bangor, lost it during the Depression, and they had 3 daughters.
Wow.
And the oldest, Catherine, was my mother. And in the middle of the Depression, all 3 of those young women went to college and got master's degrees. And that was opportunity.
Right.
That was opportunity for my grandfather, for my mother, and then I had opportunity growing up in Bangor.
So Bangor is a magic place.
Well, Bangor was a magic place, and it was a magic place of opportunity.
Right.
And today in Maine, we don't have enough opportunity.
Right.
And I'm trying to restore that.
Right. What are people sharing with you along the campaign trail? What are people sharing with you, and as far as your campaign, how do they feel about it, and what are they asking you? Well,
excuse me, the most overwhelming impression that I've had is people are worried. They're worried. They feel like the democracy is being pulled out from under them, that they're losing control, that there's so much money in politics that they're not a part of it anymore, that they're not a part of the democracy, that they've been abandoned, orphaned. When they hear I'm an independent, in some cases, they don't even need to hear anymore.
Interesting.
You know, the fact that I'm not tied to one of the two parties, that I'm not an ideologue, that I'm not a partisan, you know, that I just want to try to figure out good common sense solutions, that's what they want to hear, because they look around this state, you know, they look at this extraordinary place where we live and the wonderful people and the communities and our natural assets, and they scratch their heads and they say, why can't we figure this out?
Mm-hmm.
And they're not beginning, they're well along the way, I think, most people, to becoming just disaffiliated, you know, leaving the parties, political parties.
Right. Can you stay with us? We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come right back with Eliot Cutler and talk some more about your campaign for the governor of the state of Maine. Nice to have you on the program. We'll be right back.